Trading in a bear market is one of the toughest things mentally, so most people just don't look at their crypto for 2 years. But there are opportunities daily to make trades and grow your portfolio faster than you'd think. In today's video, we're going over how to trade in the bear market, where I'll show you 4 examples of coins that I've done trades with and how I can easily 5x these positions during the bear market. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Ben. I've made over 6 figures trading crypto, and I'm on a journey to 10K a month of passive income to spend more time with friends and family, and I want to help you all do the same. Let's go. Back in June of 2017, when I was first introduced to crypto, there were only 3 options to buy on Coinbase. Bitcoin, which was at about $2,500 at the time, Ethereum, which was at about $250 at the time, after it went from $5 to $10 just 6 months prior to that, and then Litecoin, which was at about $30 at the time. So I bought some Ethereum and Litecoin with the few $100s that I could afford, and a few weeks later the prices went down and ETH was at like $140, and I panic sold it for a loss. 2 months later, in August, my buddy was telling me about a coin called XRP and how he thought it was going to be a good one to buy and hold. But at the time, it wasn't available on Coinbase. So we had to do this like super complicated method and get on this site called Changely. And then you pay like some ridiculous fees. And then you'd have to send it to a wallet. And then in the wallet, you could send it to an exchange if you wanted to end up selling like on Binance. Right after this, I moved out of state to go to college in Idaho and didn't really have any money to invest at the time. In fact, I didn't have a job for most of the semester and I had less than $100 in my bank account. And I couldn't even afford to go to McDonald's or Taco Bell runs that my friends invited me to. It was pretty sad, but no matter what, I didn't want to take out any money from my investments. The last day of the semester, I woke up that morning and did my normal morning routine, which I still do to this day, and I checked the crypto prices as soon as I woke up. So my portfolio doubled overnight, and I couldn't believe it. My $800 was now worth $1,600. And then the following day, it doubled again. It was now worth $3,200. Every day during this time was so exciting, and just a few weeks later, I broke $10,000. I'd never seen this amount or anything close to that in my life. And I decided to sell some, but I didn't want to sell everything. So I sold about $1,500 worth, which was double what I invested. Then just a couple days later, everything went downhill. I saw my account dropping 20% or more almost daily. It was like getting punched in the gut repeatedly, and it went down slowly until just halfway through 2018, I was back under $1,000. During 2018 and 2019, I couldn't afford to invest much into crypto, and I decided to just not look at the crypto market for most of the bear market, which was a huge mistake. Coins were going on their own rallies all the time. The biggest ones that I remember was seeing Bitcoin go from $3,000 all the way up to $14,000 around the summer of 2019, and also BNB going from like $5 all the way up to $30 around that same time. It was around that time that I wanted to learn how to trade because I didn't have any extra money to invest, but I could try and grow my portfolio with trading. I joined groups, took courses with what I had from the job I was working. It had some ups and downs, and I made some money here and there, but I took losses on a lot of positions for coins that I didn't really know. So I decided to try out my own strategies with coins that I was holding long-term anyways, and I was able to 5x my portfolio during the bear market by trading and setting up these trades with the coins that I was holding long-term. Fast forward to today, I personally think trading in a bear market is easier than a bull market. In a bull market, coins can go absolutely parabolic, and you might miss out on some gains by trading. You also get FOMO every single second of every day, so even if you make fantastic trades and a lot of profit, you immediately want to dump it into a different coin. This is ultimately why a lot of us, including myself, didn't have as much USD ready as we wanted in May and June of this year to buy the dips. In a bear market, you can focus on the small moves like 20 to 50% and really grow your crypto amounts. You will be more patient with the USD that you have and expect lower lows on coins, and can see coins all by themselves do 100% in a single day. Some coins like Fourth, which is one of the examples I'll be using today, did a 3x overnight just a couple weeks ago. Some of the trades made with these can make you 60% to even 100% if you are extremely patient. So I made a spreadsheet to show all the trades that I've done since the beginning of this year for those 4 coins and the percentage that I made on them. So I'm going to show you how I set up these trades so you know how to set up trades in a bear market in a very simple way. So let's first look at Crypt, CRPT. So we're looking at the Crypt against USD on Coinbase. So it first got added to Coinbase in March of this year. My first buy was on March 26th at about 60 cents, and I bought a little bit. And then a couple days later, I waited for about another 30% decrease and set an order at 47 cents and used a larger amount. So typically when they add a new coin, it usually has a pretty big pump, and then it has a little pullback, and then it could have an additional pump after that. And so I usually wait for a dip before I enter into any new coins that are recently added. And this is also a coin that I held some on KuCoin beforehand, but I just thought to pick some up here on Coinbase for the extra trading opportunities. So like I said, I usually wait for dips to buy. So when you see a coin and it's just pumping, wait for like a 20 to 30% dip minimum before you pick up some. And start with a small amount to get your feet wet and see if you can snag some for more 20 to 30% lower than your first buy. And then you can ladder buys like that. So you could go like I did 60%, or I did 60 cents, then 47 cents. I could have gone like 35 cents and then 28 cents and so on. And then what I did is I set my sell orders up every 20 cents or so. So 56 cents, 61, 72, and 77. And I sold the rest because I was up about 50% on average, maybe even closer to 60%. Then what I did was I only used one sell order of 888 to rebuy at 54 cents of about a 30 to 40% gain. And then off of that 1,175 that I had, I built off of it. So I sold again at 61, 67, and 58, then rebought at 47 and 43, and made another about 400. So now I was sitting at 1,500 Crypt, and then sold again 800 or 386, rebought 430.8, made about 44, sold that again, and then rebought 526, so made about 95. And you can see these orders, and these go along with the little ups and downs. So it went from about 41 cents at the low and went up to 47, even 50 cents. So I sold some at 48 around here, and then I waited to rebuy at 42 cents, which was on this day. And then you can also see, I'm going to show you my orders so you can actually see what I actually did. You can see these trades. So if I go to filled and scroll down, so these are my orders. So as I showed you, 60, this is like where we first bought, and then our second buy was at 47 cents. Sold some at 56, 61, 72, 77, rebought at 54. And so this is all the orders that I put on the spreadsheets. They're all right here so you can see. So like when I sold about 430 right here, and then I rebought about 526 right here, and then so on and so on. So you can see all these orders are here, even up to date. And then going down, we kept trading the pumps. So something that I want to emphasize is when I'm setting up these buys and sells, I'm using these support and resistance. So these levels right here, these two wicks, went up to 50 cents. So that's a level of resistance. So I would set a sell order at like 49 cents. And then it would fill at that point. And then I would look at the previous support, like right here, when it went from like 26 cents all the way up to 50 cents, which is where I had some of these sells, which were right here. These 3 sells right here, I think I sold out completely. And then I waited for a buy down here at 32 cents. So I set these up because of the support levels. You can see the low 27, 28. And so at the time, I set up an order to buy back part of the position at 32 cents and then the rest of it at 29 cents. So right there from those two trades, made about 550 more Crypt. And that brought our account from like about 1,500 all the way to over 2,000 now. And then our next sell, we did one at 25 cents. That was actually on this day where I sold at 25 cents and then rebought at 19 and 20 cents. And then I sold again at 24 cents and then 29 cents, which was on this wick right here. And then rebought at 22 cents. And then the other order was at 19 cents. And then sold again at 27, rebought at 23, so on and so on. And then something you'll notice is there was a lot of wicks that went up to like 20 cents, 18 cents, 19 cents. So you can see all these wicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different wicks. And I'm pretty sure I hit almost all of them with these trades, like one right here, right here, right here, 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 and then rebought at like 14 to 15 cents because those were the low areas. And it really increased this position. So a grand total of starting with only 888, because that's where I only used that amount to rebuy. I made a total of 3,235.5 Crypt. And that was just in the span of like 5 months. So a total gain of 557.71%. And I also moved some profits from it to another coin. So here you can see I started with, made from trades. These were profits if I rebought at this time, and ended with this amount, including the profits, but not including the other buys that we did. So we passed 5xing this account like 500 Crypt ago. All right, and so that was the first one. The next one is Rari. So this is a coin that was on crypto.com, and I bought some on crypto.com, and then when they added it to Coinbase at the end of 2021, I decided to add some to the position as well. And so we're starting just from this year and adding up these trades. So first one was $19.02, and then rebought at $14.35, made about 11 of them. The next big order was I sold 81 at $11.04, rebought 108 at $8.53, which was this pump right here. So it went up to $12.56 from a range of $7 to $8. So I just had a big pump of about 50%, sold some, rebought, and then just a little bit of trades after trades, and even taking a lot of profits out from Rari. So what I did was at these points where I sold some at $8, this was in March. So it had this rally right here going from $6, had these pumps to $9.50, had a couple of those trades go through, and then it had a pump go all the way to $14. So I basically sold, I think, everything, if not the majority, and then I only rebought 30 of them, and this other amount I didn't rebuy, and so this will go into the profits. And one thing I wanted to add about Crypt is, now that I have more of it, a lot more, it'll be easier to make bigger percentage gains with each trade that we make. Because if we make 10%, but we've already done a 5x, then instead of making 10%, if we were using the whole thing, we'd make 50%. So the amount is going to grow faster and faster. And I think we could potentially 10 to 20x this position during the bear market. And one of the other nice things is every single time we hit an order, I can place those new sell orders all the way up. So like I have sell orders at 19 cents, 24 cents, 29 cents, 39 cents, 49 cents, and so on, all the way up to like $3. And then every single time I can add to those positions, or I can place new sells like in between one of those sell orders. And then back to Rari. So this one, as I said, we sold a lot and then moved the profits into other coins because it was doing really well and some other coins weren't doing as well. And then the more recent trades have been between $2 and about $5. So if we scroll over, you can see these little wicks going from about $3 up to $5, up to $4.27, up to $3.41, from about $2, from $2 to about $3, and then up to $4.50, $4.20, and about $4. So you can see these little wicks, and these are good, like I said, good levels of resistance. So it's a good idea to set your sell orders a little bit below those. And then you could see a good range to be buying this. And what I want to be doing is picking up more of it from about $2 all the way up to $3.50. And the total that we made on Rari is about 260%. So about 2.5x. And that's if we rebought with the profits that we've made. We would be at like 500. We're at like 170. And so if we rebought with the profits, we would get this much. And this is how much the progress has gone. Or this is how much progress that we've made. And we need about 480 more Rari to have a 5x. Fourth is the next coin that I've been trading for about a year and a half, and I've made a lot of good trades with it. It has quite a few 40% or more pumps every month or so, and it's provided a lot of trades, and I trade it against USD and also BTC. So as you can see here, it's had quite a few like 40% pumps or more. So all these little wicks right here, going from about $5.30 up to $8.78, that's about a 60% pump actually. And then this one from about $6.20 to about $8.50. So that's probably more like a 40%. And even like this wick here going from 670 to about 845, about a 30%. And a bunch of these like little pumps of about 20% or so. And then even this one right here, when it went from about $5 up to $12, about 120%. And then more recently, like this pump right here, going from $4 to about $7, it's about 80%. And then these pumps from 30 cents or $3 into $4.50 or $4.75, so about 50-60%. Happened quite a few times. So I ended up placing some orders like at like $4, where we had this recent pump of a 3x, and a lot of my sells hit at like $4. So all these sells right here went $3.70 all the way to $4.40, $4.60, and $5 just based off of this. And I wanted to rebuy, but I'm still happy that I had some to sell at $6.60, $7, or $7.90, and $7.50. So here's the orders that I started with, and here's the ones that I did in Bitcoin. And you can see all of them going from like 20,000 Satoshis to 28,000, rebuying at 20,000. So about a 40% gain, selling again at 24,000 and rebuying at like 16,000, another 30-40% gain, and then selling at 25,000, 29,000, and 34,000. And then rebuying when I sold at like 34,000 at 24,000 and making about 40%. So 5.4 off of selling 13.67 right here. So especially in a bear market, it's super good to trade against Bitcoin because you're either getting more altcoins or more Bitcoin with each trade. Like if you sell at a 10% increase, you're getting 10% more Bitcoin. Then when you rebuy at like 10 or 20% more, you're getting 10 or 20% more altcoins with that. And so it's like a win-win. You're either getting more altcoins or getting more Bitcoin. And now since Fourth has been super oversold on the RSI, I'm waiting for it to go below 35. Right now it's around 60. I want to see it go 35 or lower, and that's where I'll rebuy. And I think that's going to be around the $4 level. And then I also, with these rebuys right here at around 560 and 24,000 Satoshis, The reason I did that was because it's about 50% from where it shot all the way up. And then I have a little bit of fourth to set at $10 and then also 40,000 Satoshis. So the total we made on this one was 307%. And we started with 90, 95 or 96, and we made 100.32. And then adding in our profits, we would make another 40. And then we'd end with about 294.85, including if our buys hit. So we'd need an additional 185.054 to get a 5x. Now the last coin is Nimic. I've been trading Nimic for about 2 years on KuCoin. This is another coin that I trade against Bitcoin, and I actually only trade it against Bitcoin. So I try to make about 30% on each trade, sometimes less, sometimes more. And the wicks will go from like 7 Satoshis all the way up to 9, like here, here. But even more recently, it went from, or this one went up from 5 to about 8, and then about from 4 to like 15, and then it kept hitting 10, 9, 9, 11, 9. So as you can see, I hit sells. The first sell was at 7.49, and this was May 11th. Sold some here because it was up 20% for the day. Rebought it 20% lower, 30% lower for 5.67. Made about 6,000 of them. And then on about a month and a half later, I sold some at 8 Satoshis and 10 and 14 and 14. And I was extremely patient with this sell that I placed a buy order almost 100% lower. So almost doubled the position. Like if we would have had 100,000, then we would have exactly doubled. And we got 97,640. So about a 95% gain on that one trade right there. And then what we did was we split that in half, sold half at 8.33 and 8.72, and then rebought with this sell at 65 or about 66,000, sold again at 9, rebought at 7 for 86,000, sold again at 9, rebought at 7 for 110,000, and then sold half of that at 8.3, half of the half at 9.1, rebought at 7, sold the other half at 9.6, and then rebought at 7.6. So this order right here that we sold 55,000, we have an order to rebuy at 6.18, and then this order that we sold at 7.91 of 12,500, we have an order to rebuy at 5.41, about 18,000. So the total gains, we also had a profit. So we also had a profit of about 0.01 in Bitcoin. So if we use that to buy, we get an additional 150,000 Nimic. And we started with about 200,000, made 130,000 from trades. And then if we rebought with profit, we'd have about 420,000. And so that gives us a total of about 191% and about 675,000 for what we would need to get a 5x in NIM. Now something that's pretty cool is what we started with and versus what we made. Almost every single position we doubled. So besides Nimic, we made about 60%. But if we look at the other ones, we made over double. So we started with 96, then we had 100. Rari, we started with 200 and we made 205. And then Crypt, we had about 900 and we made about 3,200. So every single position besides Nimic, we basically made more than what we started. And so this is pretty cool because then you can kind of think of it as like it's just extra. You've already taken what you invested out and it's just you're playing with the extra amount and you could just trade with that if you want. And so you could kind of separate the emotions and like worrying about it so you can trade it without that mental block. Now a quick honorary mention is TRB. This is one that's been doing very well lately, and I had some good trades with it and got some at like $10 and sold some at 19, or got some at $10 and sold some at like 14 at first, then rebought at 10 and then sold at like 19, rebought at like 12, sold at 19, rebought at like 10, sold about at 20 again, and then it went up even higher. And then I sold it at like 20 again, and it went even higher, all the way up to 30. And so I haven't rebought this position. I've been waiting for it to go back down to like $10. I don't know if it exactly will, but it is oversold, and it has been oversold on the RSI for over a month now. So I think it will have a pullback, and I'm hoping to see it like below $15 again before I rebuy. Now the goal with all these coins is to 10 to 20x the position sizes for each of them during the bear market. If you want to follow my trades, check out my Patreon where I share my trades for my portfolio and for all 3 challenges that we're doing. There are many other coins that I'm trading and accumulating more. Some of the more recent trades that I've done have been with GRT, ETH, EOS, BAND, XTZ, Atom, Uniswap, CRV, ACH, NMR, Solve, and of course, Crow. Like we've heard before, real wealth is created during the bear market. If you can 5x your portfolio during it just from trading, and with adding dollar cost averages into that, you could probably 10x your portfolio. Then imagine what it'll look like next bull run. So there's even more that you need to know to dominate this bear market. So if you found this video super helpful, you need to check out my complete guide on how to excel during the bear market with tons of tips and strategies right here. And if it isn't out yet, it'll be coming out soon. In the meantime, check out this video. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, as always, keep it in the green.